Why does our wealth explode after 1 crore? ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा, but it's a topic dozens of YouTubers are creating videos on. So if you're not from here, this explosion happens after 100K, $100,000. And if you're from my neck of the woods, then it's a crore of rupees, which is strange because 100K in American money is less than a crore. But in a way, it's good because this means we Indians are setting the bar a lot higher for ourselves. Now, my interest in this topic propped up when I started reminiscing on how my own wealth creation journey has progressed over the years. For instance, it wasn't until I turned 35 that I got truly serious about growing my own investment corpus. In fact, let me put numbers to this. In April of 2015, and mind you, after many years of working, I had just 10 lakh rupees worth of mutual funds in my investment account. But because I had found some enlightenment, my income was growing, and because my savings rate was high, I was able to 10x this number over the next 3 years, making it a nice personal milestone for me. But here's the wicked part. So 0 to 1 took me 36 months, 1 crore to 2 happened in 31 months, 2 to 3 crores took me about 22 months, and by that time I had some money invested in stocks as well. 3 to 4 was even faster at just 15 months. And much like how Eliud Kipchoge broke the 2-hour limit for marathons, I shattered the 12-month barrier and my corpus grew an additional crore in just 7 months. Now, when I look back at all this, I would say the first 1 crore was definitely the toughest part. But to add a positive spin to it, if you can reach that 1 crore mark sooner, faster, then it not only accelerates your future wealth generation, but it also allows you to retire early. So that's our quest for today as I take you through the exact reasons why wealth explodes after the 1 crore milestone as it happened with me. And more importantly, how can you accelerate the process of reaching that 1 crore mark? I'm sure many of you already have a crore or even 10 crores, but nevertheless, I'm certain you'll find large parts of this video still relevant to you. And just as a motivation for all the 1 crore people, I'll logically prove it to you that if you're currently at 1 crore and your goal, your target is, let's say, 10 crores, then it's not that you are 10% there, but I'll prove it to you that you're actually 2/5, yes, already 40% of the way there. All this might sound a little strange to you now, but please do trust me on this. And let's begin. Alright, my apologies for this wonderful language, but the late Charlie Munger fully understood both the challenges of reaching $100,000 and the many rewards that come with it. Now, understandably, your first crore is going to be a slow, steady, and painful process. And the usual reasons include low income, low savings. We invest in safer instruments like an FD, a PPF, etc., as we don't have a safety cushion. Thanks to the education system, our financial awareness will be pathetic, drawing us closer to LIC policies rather than the more beneficial instruments. And most importantly, when one starts from zero, we don't have any money that's already working for you and helping us earn more money from that accumulated capital. This was certainly the case with me as I entered the workforce with some 17,000 rupees in salary, and after paying for food, rent, transport, some sporadic entertainment, I barely had 2,000, 3,000 rupees in savings a month. And it's not just me, I'm sure that's how a lot of us would have started. So later in the video, and heeding to Mr. Mangar's advice, I'll share some techniques on how you can up this number and improve your monthly savings rate. But here's the thing. What happens when you cross the 1 crore mark? Well, by the time we get there, normally everything has changed. You've spent 7, 10, 12 years on the job, so your income and skill level is high. Your savings are decent, much better than what it was. You've built some safe assets, so you're more amenable to adventurous instruments like equity mutual funds, shares, small case, etc. You've learned to stay away from endowment and money back policies. And most importantly, the money you've collected so far is working for you and helping you grow your corpus. And what do you do with all this money? Well, firstly, take a well-deserved vacation, which brings me to Club Mahindra, India's #1 leisure hospitality player with over 3 lakh members who's been delivering quality vacation experiences to families for the last 28 years. Club Mahindra offers a unique 25-year membership that guarantees you access to premium quality accommodations at over 140 resorts across India and to 400 plus partner hotels and another 4,100 RCI affiliated resorts in over 110 countries year after year. From snow-capped mountains in Shimla, an in-house water park in Asanora, to floating cottages in Ashtamudi, your Club Mahindra membership takes you to picture perfect, actually Instagram perfect scenic spots. With over 2,000 unique experiences, bonfires, riverboat dining, a happy hub experiential center for kids, amenities like spa, swimming pool, a wide range of restaurants with delectable regional and international cuisines, there's always something to do and experience at a Club Mahindra resort. Together with flexible membership plans to suit your particular style of travel, you'll never want to skip your annual leaves again. So what are you waiting for? Talk to a Club Mahindra holiday consultant now using the link in the video's description and get ready to elevate your family's vacation experience. That last point on money working for you and helping you grow your corpus is an important one, so let's spend some time on it. Now, why a person's net worth explodes at 1 crore has very little to do with the type of investment you have and has everything to do with the scale of capital. As an example, let's say three individuals, A, B, and C, have savings of 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, and 1 crore respectively. This money has been invested in some financial instrument that offers a 10% return, so it's the same 10% return for A, B, and C, which means A makes a 10,000 rupee profit, B takes home a lakh, while C does a lot better at 10 lakh rupees. So although the profits are significantly different, the product, the risk, the percentage returns are exactly the same, highlighting the importance of the size of your investment and therefore the rate at which your absolute wealth grows. This might sound like common sense, but one way of looking at it is to choose between how you want to spend your time in your 20s and 30s, in the sense that do you want to be doing intraday trading, putting your corpus at risk in the hope that you'll make 30% return on your low capital base, or do you want to take up a second income which can up your total income by 30, 40, even 50% at a relatively lower risk and help you reach that 1 crore mark at a much faster pace? I'm not hinting at anything. Or maybe I am, but these are important choices to make. And while I didn't have that foresight when I was young, I'm hopeful you'll do a lot better than me. The second element, and I'm sure you've already anticipated this, is the compounding bit. There's a quote by Benjamin Franklin that's being thrown around a bit that says, "Money makes money, and the money that money makes money." Frankly, and I'm not making fun of Mr. Benjamin, but frankly, this is difficult to explain without numbers, so here we go. Now, our first objective is to reach a corpus of 1 crore, and there are many ways of going about this. For example, you can put in 10,000 rupees in one shot, and assuming it grows by 12%, you'll have your crore in the next 61 years. Likewise, you can invest 5 lakhs and reach that crore number in the next 26 years, or feel free to use any of the combinations in this table here, or build your own using calculators that are freely available on the internet. Of course, a more practical way to go about this is via SIPs, and a 10,000 rupee monthly injection will get you there in 20 years. A 30,000 SIP will take a little over 12 years, while a 75,000 rupee systematic investment will reach its target in 7 years and 1 month. Actually, let's examine this in the context of a wealth creation journey using a 30,000 rupee monthly SIP. So the first crore would take us 12 years and 3 months, which is understandable as we are starting from a zero base. I'm sure all of us expect the second crore to be a lot faster, and as expected, it takes us only 4 years and 9 months to get there. The third crore happens even faster in just 3 years, and as you can see here, within 20 years, we are sitting pretty with a corpus of 3 crores. So visually, this is like a snowball rolling down the hill, a ball that is gathering speed and is growing in size as the years go by. And before you know it, we are at our target of 10 crores, having taken 29 years and 5 months to get there. We did this by investing just 30,000 rupees every month, which is interesting because 29 years and something comes to an actual investment of just 1.06 crores, which means the remaining 8.9 crores is simply money making money, or compounding as you and I call it. Which reminds me, I had stated earlier that a crore achieved out of 10 is something like 40% of the way, and here's the proof of that. Again, same example, and the first crore happened at 12 years and 3 months, which when divided by 29 years and 5 months comes to 41%, which means achieving that first crore opens the doorway to achieving a lot more wealth, and as a bonus, you'll also achieve it a lot faster. In that same context, if you're interested in getting to the 10 crore number even faster, then do explore using a step-up option wherein you can increase your monthly SIP every year in line with the 8, 10, 12% salary hike that you generally expect. So in our example, if I were to commit an additional 5,000 every year, so year 1 is 30k, year 2 is 35k, year 3 is 40k and so on, then the 10 crore goal can be achieved a lot sooner in 23 years and 9 months, which honestly for people in the 20s and even 30s can be like a side project with the money compounding away as you carry on with the rest of your life. Of course, there's inflation to deal with, so you might want to target 20 crores, who knows? But here's the thing, and I've seen it in my wealth journey as well, that when your money starts making money on top of the money that you already have, believe me, it's like a jolt of motivation and happiness. But yes, it all starts with that first crore. The sooner you get there, the better it is. Speaking of which, and I'm not saying you do this to get there, but I'm really enjoying this task of researching and putting together some solid investing stories on my newsletter. In the last few weeks, I have featured a potential turnaround in the making with Sami Hotels and a possible spike in revenue and profits at BLS International. Over the coming weeks, I'll be posting many more opportunities. So if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter or if you haven't told your friends about it in your WhatsApp groups, then I request you to kindly do so. I don't want this newsletter to be one-way communication either. So please do participate in it with your views and perspectives in the comment section. And if you have any ideas of your own that deserves a place in my newsletter, please do send me your detailed thesis at this email address here. Alright, so let's put some structure to it. How can we reach our 1 crore target faster? There are surely a number of ways, occupations, methods of getting there. So what I've done here is I'm offering you a kind of 7-step blueprint that can make this process a lot easier for you to understand and for you to implement it. The first step is to gain better control over your finances, and it starts with this basic math. Your income minus your spending equals your savings. If you can reduce or streamline your spending, like being a little moderate with your eating out, Starbucks, taking the metro instead of the taxi, etc., every rupee you save goes into the savings column, which can then be invested. Of course, I'm not saying you have to design an austerity program around yourself and you can't have fun, but the core idea here is to make more informed choices and to understand the difference between your needs and your wants. Step 2, and a very rational part of the puzzle, is to increase one's income. This can be done in multiple ways, such as performing successfully in your current job to receive promotions and bonuses at the highest level. One can switch jobs, and generally there's a wage hike that comes with such a switch. And thirdly, you can always learn new skills like a programming language, digital marketing, a CFA certification, anything that can help you elevate your income from the current levels. My point is simple. It's important to increase that gap between income and expenditure, and because there's a limit to how much one can crunch their expenses, never miss out on an opportunity to up your income. Alright, so now that we have improved our savings and our income, we need to invest it somewhere, which brings us to step number 3. Now, because our target of a crore is still a good 7-8 years away, investing this money in a diversified equity portfolio is likely to do you a world of good, not just from a return perspective, but also from a risk angle, given the fact that the chance of you making a loss goes all the way to zero when one invests for the long term. On the question of where to invest, I think there are sufficient videos on my channel to help you out with that wondering. We now come to step 4, which is to optimize one's portfolio from a tax perspective. And although I've used the word optimize, what I really mean is tax avoidance. Remember, I said avoidance, not evasion, which is somewhat easier for a self-employed person as compared to a salaried person. But with tax changes becoming a habitual occurrence in the government's annual budget, it's good for you to be on top of those changes and see how you can save an extra 30,000-40,000 rupees every year, which can then be routed towards your investment bucket. 40K per year might seem small, but over a 10-year period, this is almost an additional 8 lakhs in your kitty. So spend some time on reading the tax codes and if need be, do work with a tax advisor. After all, a rupee you save today is like saving 8, 9, 10 rupees in the future. Step 5 is to reduce your debts. This is easier said than done, but simple techniques like renegotiating your home loan interest rate with the bank, paying off your expensive debt, improving your credit score, etc., will all go a long way in ensuring you're not overpaying in terms of interest. And it's always a very good feeling to have if your loans are coming down. And of course, that extra saving gets rolled back into your wealth creation fund. The sixth step, and perhaps the most important of the lot, is to start a second income. Now, I'm not talking about things like earning a dividend from your shares or receiving rental income, etc., but something more active, like this YouTube channel, for instance. I know it's not a second income, it's my primary income, but just to give you a perspective on this, I had recently taken a break and no videos were posted from the 22nd of June until the 20th of July. So that was exactly 30 days, a month for when I had technically not put in any effort, and yet because of my previously posted videos and those ads that run on them, I received about 75,000 rupees from YouTube. So in my case, there's an element of passive income as well, but honestly, there are tons of things one can do to generate a secondary income. For instance, you can do some freelancing like writing, graphic design, programming, or anything you're skilled at. Start a YouTube channel, or if that's a bit too much, then build an audience on Twitter or LinkedIn or start a podcast. A lot of people are doing that. And more than income, it also helps you build a lot of connections and grows your network. You can buy and sell items like, say, camera equipment or even handmade goods, which, by the way, can fetch you a good margin. And there's a massive market for this outside of India. You can always go for evergreen options like becoming a real estate broker or an insurance agent or a mutual fund distributor. You can work during weekends for this. There's always part-time teaching, coaching, becoming a yoga trainer, building a mobile app, etc. Anything that can complement your primary occupation and fetch you more income that you can invest into reaching your first crore real fast. Of course, this means making time for this, which can include finding an additional 2 to 3 hours every day or by redesigning your existing work so that your current task can be finished at least 20% faster. I mean, you have to start somewhere and you definitely have to make an effort. And the seventh and final step in our 1 crore success blueprint is self-discipline, in the sense that you need to find your self-control and avoid limiting beliefs to do everything we have discussed in the 6 previous steps in order to reach your goal. So essentially, one should have the discipline to control one's expenses. To generate higher income should be a top priority at work. Invest smartly rather than spending away your gains. Learn about tax optimization. Take special efforts to reduce your debt and to put in even more effort to build a second active income for yourself, which can later turn passive. And believe me, this can open a lot of doors for you. Some of you might have mixed feelings about what I have put forth today, but hopefully, after examining the data and by me sharing my own experience, many of you will see the light and, as a first step, will aim to get to that 1 crore number real fast. This video was a bit simpler than some of my other videos, but the message is equally powerful, so do put it into practice, do subscribe to my newsletter, and I'll see you very soon. Until then.